Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk about being married versus being single in the Philippines, so stay tuned. This topic about being married or being single in the Philippines has been brought up several times before, good points and bad points, and I really wanted to make a video about it, so I finally decided to make my opinion on this topic, especially nowadays, since Corona and COVID have been around. There are a lot of people getting married online to Filipinas, like these guys. And there's also videos being put out on YouTube, like this one, and I'm sure there are several others about how to get married online to go to the Philippines. And to tell you the truth, this topic has been driving me nuts. So I wanted to talk about it now. Just to let you know just a little bit about myself, I have been married and single, so I've been on both sides of the street. This is just my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comments below on this subject. So please let me know. Let's get a conversation started. But yeah, marriage to a Filipina and general marriage in general, there are advantages to being married. You have companionship. Most people want to, they crave companionship, and life is better when you can experience it with another person who cares and shares, your interests and concerns. Um, so, that's one advantage of being married. Now, as a single person, you have the advantage of, not only with one person, but you can share your feelings and your companionship with, other people who could, care about, your interests and concerns. It seems to have a better advantage as far as companionship to be married, though, because you can do that with your partner, and also your children, having children, and things like that. So that is one advantage of being married, sorry. And also acceptance. Marriage is, accepted way for two people to show commitment to each other. Um, Now, on the other hand, being single, you, my personal opinion, I'll get into that more later. Let me just tell you advantage of being married. Endurance, people, who are married seem to stay together longer and bond for life. There's stability. Um, there's just, being married and having children. They seem to be more happier. It's more stable. Fewer social problems, fewer crime with people who are married. And then financials, of course, especially when you're talking about being married to a Filipino. As far as finances goes, it seems to be advantage to the Filipino. You're supposed to you can combine your wealth together, but obviously it's more advantage to a Filipino. Tax purposes, being married seems to be better. Um, you get better deductions and stuff when you're married and when you have children than being single. So financials of a married life seems to go the advantage to being, well, financials seem to go to have the advantage of being married. And partnership, there's a lot of burdens and responsibilities like raising a child, so you can do that together, obviously, as a partnership and a family unit. Obviously, being married, sex is there. Um, uh, you can have a happy sex life. Monogamy reduces health risk. And religious reasons for getting married. I think this is a huge one. A lot of people think, especially in the Philippines, of being Christians. A lot of Filipino women want to get married. I think it has a lot to do with religious beliefs, and the fact that it's done before God. They have a deeper relationship with God, and you receive His blessing when you get married. So I think a lot of it has to do with religion, when it comes to Filipinos who want to get married. Um, but there's also disadvantages of getting married. Like uh, most, like when it comes to sex, like sex fades over time, and you're with the same person all the time. People get in ruts. Um, there's a lack of individuality. You don't do the same things as you would when you were single. You can have family conflict with the parents, parents-in-laws. Um, there can be a lot of, red tape in, getting married and trying, to go, like if you try to move back to your home country or whatever, especially with a Filipina, there's a lot of red tape. They might not even be able to go. Um, there's limitations. When you get married, you pretty much uh, can't. A lot of people give up their friends and whatever. You don't see your friends as much. Um, so, there's a lot of disadvantages to being married. Um, so now, like single life. So I mean, there's advantages to being married. There's disadvantages to being married. Um, but being married to a Filipina, is it like really a good thing overall? I've been seeing a lot of these, like I said before, these online marriages. Um, I really am, I wish them luck. First of all, I want to say good luck to those guys. I hope they live a healthy, happy, prosperous uh, life, marriage life. Um, but I tend to wonder, like, do they really know what they're getting into in the Philippines, especially, to get married online, to go to the Philippines to be with their spouses? Um, to me, that seems a little bit crazy. Like, why you just don't wait until it opens up? When I was young, my father was like, you should live with somebody for 2 years to get to know them before you even get married. And I tend to find that kind of true. Um, you really don't know somebody unless you live together with them, like what they're really like. And so to get married online, I tend to wonder, do you really know that person? And I wonder if they also know about there's like no divorce law in the Philippines. And so, you know, you, you're you're pretty much stuck. In that situation, a lot of people live separate lives after married. If they don't end up not, later down the road, not liking each other, they can't get divorced. So they end up living separate lives, having boyfriends or girlfriends or maybe even children. But that can be a huge problem if somebody gets jealous. They come and they report you. You could end up going to jail for breaking the law. So is it worth it? I wonder if people who got married online like knows that, just to go to the Philippines. Um, and so, yeah, kind of makes me, think. My personal opinion is, marriage is, to me, it's a piece of paper. It's a contract, right, between two people, basically. And so, as far as the stuff I talk about, like the advantages of being married, like the love and commitment, can you not have love and commitment and stay single and live together. If they truly love you and they're truly committed to you, do you need a piece of paper to prove that? They can prove that. I know people that stayed together for years, like over 20 years or whatever, that's never been married. And so, to me, it's just like a piece of paperwork. Um, and yeah, and so I really think it's best to, you know, find out how somebody is. This is my opinion, right? Take the time to know the person before you jump into getting married. Um, and is it worth it in the long run? Okay, you're committed, but you can be committed without being married, right? Um, and I think it's basically the religious part, and before God or whatever. So if you're a religious person, Christian, and whatever, and think that you like have to be married to be committed, then good on you. Um, in the Philippines, I will probably never be married uh, unless they change the law, and then it'll be with somebody that I've spent a lot of time to get to know. Otherwise, I'm going to stay single, live in the Philippines. I like the individuality of being single. I've kind of swallowed the red pill. I've been watching a lot about the red pill, so I'm kind of going down that path. I don't think, I don't like being taken advantage of. And even if, you can fall in love or think you're in love, but still, usually it works out to where one person has more money or one person does more than the other person always, uh, and you can do that. You can be in that same type of relationship staying single. What's the point of getting married? And then you can't get divorced, or you can get in trouble for so many different reasons if so my view is it's actually better to be single in the Philippines, but that's just me. Yeah. So tell me, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's better to be married or it's better to be single in the Philippines? My opinion personally is marriage is just a piece of paper, and you don't need a piece of paper to be in love or to be committed to stay together. Um, if you're truly in love. If not, then if you end up, breaking apart, uh, you can't get divorced. But if you're single, you don't have to worry about that anyway. So, and there's a lot of marriages in the United States that end in divorce, that could have been probably avoided had they just, lived together for a while, um, before they got married. Now, I understand people want companionship, lifelong partners, or whatever, uh, especially as they get older. It seems a lot of older people come to the Philippines that have been divorced in the past, looking for someone to take care of them or whatever. But is that a reason to get married? You can find somebody, and there's a ton of Filipinos out there who are willing to take care of you. Granted, a lot of them want to get married, but there are a ton of them, and so yeah. Anyway, my opinion is just be careful. Whether you want to get married or don't, that's up to you. I personally think it's better to be single in the Philippines unless they change the law. That's my opinion. All right, so take care, guys, and I'll see you in another video.